Right exploited to give these cars the open road they deserve. Ah, the Porsche 959, a car so legendary, so far ahead of its time, that even America, the land of the free and home of the brave, couldn't handle it. Back in the 80s, this technological tour de force boasted a twin-turbocharged flat-six engine that could propel the 959 to a then unheard-of 197 miles per hour. It was a technological marvel, with all-wheel drive and an adjustable suspension system that seemed ripped straight from a spaceship. But America decided that the 959 was simply too hot to handle. Porsche didn't build enough of these beauties to satisfy the American crash test regulations. Imagine that, a car so exclusive, so rare that it couldn't be bothered with such trivial matters as crumple zones. So for years the 959 remained a forbidden fruit in the US. Thankfully, common sense, or perhaps the lobbying efforts of some well-connected collectors, finally prevailed. In 1999, the US government introduced the show and display law, granting import exemptions for cars deemed to be of historical or technological significance. Finally, the Porsche 959 could grace American roads. But don't think for a minute that getting your hands on a street-legal 959 in the US is easy. Now let's talk about a car that needs no introduction, a legend in its own right, a car that sends shivers down the spines of American muscle car enthusiasts, the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. This, my friends, is Godzilla, a Japanese monster that terrified the automotive establishment with its combination of raw power and technological prowess. With its sophisticated all-wheel drive system, twin-turbocharged engine, and a cult following fueled by countless appearances in video games and movies, the R34 GTR was a tuner's dream. But, much to the dismay of American petrolheads, this Japanese icon was deemed too hot for American roads. Why, you ask? Well, according to the powers that be, the R34 GTR didn't meet US safety standards. They claimed it lacked the necessary safety features, that it was a danger to American drivers. But some say it was simply a case of American manufacturers feeling threatened by this Japanese upstart. Of course, where there's a will, there's a way, and some enterprising individuals found ways to import R34S under the show and display law. However, after years of waiting, the ban on the R34 GTR was partially lifted. In 2024, cars that were 25 years or older became eligible for import into the US under the 25-year rule. Finally, American enthusiasts could experience the thrill of driving this iconic Japanese machine. Chapter 3. Now let's talk about a car so outrageously powerful, so mind-bendingly fast, that even its own creators decided it was too wild for public roads. This is a story of ambition, engineering prowess, and a touch of madness. This, my friends, is the TVR Cerbera Speed 12, a car that's less of a car and more of a force of nature. It's a machine that defies conventional automotive wisdom, pushing the boundaries of what a road car can be. This British beast was the brainchild of Peter Wheeler, the eccentric and brilliant mind behind TVR. Wheeler was known for his daring approach to car design, often prioritizing raw power and driving experience over comfort and practicality. Wheeler envisioned the Speed 12 as a road-going version of the company's GT1 racing car, a machine designed to dominate on the track. He wanted to bring the thrill and intensity of racing to the streets, creating a car that was as exhilarating as it was terrifying. Underneath its sleek, aerodynamic bodywork lurked a monstrous 7.7-liter V12 engine, a power plant so potent that it could shame some small countries' power grids. This engine was a marvel of engineering, combining brute force with sophisticated design. This engine, cobbled together from two TVR six-cylinder engines, was said to produce over 800 horsepower, a figure that was practically unheard of in a road car at the time. It was an audacious move, reflecting Wheeler's unyielding desire to push the envelope. The Speed 12 was a car designed for one thing and one thing only: speed. It was built to go fast, and everything else was secondary. The car's handling, braking, and even its safety features were all designed with one goal in mind: to make it the fastest car on the road. It was a raw, visceral driving experience with no driver aids to save you from your own stupidity. This was a car that demanded respect and skill from its driver, offering no electronic safety nets to catch you if you made a mistake. But there was a problem, a significant one. The Speed 12 was so powerful, so brutally fast that even TVR had second thoughts about unleashing it on public roads. The car's sheer power made it a potential hazard, not just to its driver but to everyone else on the road. Legend has it that Peter Wheeler himself took one for a spin and decided it was simply too wild, too untamable for mere mortals. He realized that the car's extreme performance could be more of a curse than a blessing. The TVR Cerbera Speed 12 remains a legend in the automotive world, a cautionary tale of a car that was simply too extreme, too powerful for its own good. It stands as a testament to the fine line between genius and madness in the world of high-performance cars. Chapter 4. Right then, let's talk about a car that makes a Formula One car look as tame as a milk float. A car that's about as road legal as a rabid badger in a china shop. This is a machine that laughs in the face of conventionality and scoffs at the idea of moderation. I'm talking about the Lamborghini Essenza SCV12, a track-only monster that's so extreme, so ridiculously over the top, that it makes a Pagani Zonda look like a Toyota Camry. This car is the epitome of excess, a testament to what happens when engineers are given carte blanche to create the ultimate track weapon. This, my friends, is what happens when Lamborghini's engineers are given free rein, a blank check, and a crate of Red Bull. They dive into their work with the fervor of mad scientists, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in automotive engineering. They lock themselves away in a secret underground bunker, emerging months later with a creation that's less of a car and more of a weaponized symphony of carbon fiber, screaming V12 engines, and enough downforce to suck a small child off its feet. It's a marvel of modern engineering, a testament to human ingenuity and a bit of insanity. The Essenza SCV12 is powered by a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine that churns out a mind-boggling 830 horsepower. This engine is a masterpiece, a roaring beast that delivers power in a way that's both brutal and exhilarating. And all that power is sent to the rear wheels because Lamborghini hates your sanity and wants to see you wrestle with oversteer like a rodeo clown riding a runaway bull. It's a challenge, a test of skill and bravery, and it's what makes driving the Essenza SCV12 such an unforgettable experience. But the real party piece of the Essenza SCV12 is its aerodynamics. This car is designed to slice through the air with the precision of a scalpel, generating incredible amounts of downforce to keep it glued to the track. This thing generates more downforce than a Boeing 747 on takeoff. It's a feat of engineering that allows the Essenza SCV12 to corner at speeds that would make lesser cars weep. So, why isn't this Italian stallion allowed anywhere near a public road? The answer lies in its very nature. Well, for starters, it's about as subtle as a brick to the face. Its aggressive design and roaring engine would cause chaos in any urban setting. But the real reason is simple. The Essenza SCV12 is a track weapon, pure and simple. It's built for the racetrack, where it can unleash its full potential without any restrictions. It's not meant for cruising down to the shops or picking up the kids from school. It's a thoroughbred race car, designed to dominate the track and leave everything else in its dust. Chapter 5. Now let's talk about something that grinds my gears more than a gearbox full of gravel import restrictions. These rules and regulations can turn the dream of owning a unique car into a bureaucratic nightmare. That's right. We're diving headfirst into the murky world of bureaucratic nightmares, where dreams of owning exotic metal go to die a slow, painful death. It's a world where red tape and endless forms can crush your automotive aspirations. You see, in some countries, it's not enough to have the money and the desire to buy a fantastic car. You also need the patience of a saint and the persistence of a marathon runner. Oh no, you also have to navigate a labyrinthine maze of regulations, paperwork, and fees that would make even the most patient saint want to ram their head through a plate glass window. It's a process that can take months, if not years, to complete. Take Canada, for example. Our neighbors to the north have this adorable little rule called the 15-year import rule. What this means is that if you want to import a car that wasn't originally sold in Canada, you have to wait a whole 15 years from the date it was manufactured. That's right, 15 long years. What this means is that if you want to import a car that wasn't originally sold in Canada, you have to wait a whole 15 years from the date it was manufactured. Imagine waiting that long for your dream car. 15 years. That's longer than some marriages last. By the time you're finally allowed to legally drive your dream car, it's practically an antique. By the time you're finally allowed to legally drive your dream car, it's practically an antique. And let's not forget the additional costs and modifications needed to make it road legal. And don't even get me started on the hoops you have to jump through to make sure it meets Canadian safety and emission standards. These standards can be incredibly stringent and often require expensive modifications. And it's not just Canada. Countries all over the world have their own unique brand of import restrictions, each one more ridiculous than the last. From emission standards to safety regulations, the list goes on and on. Countries all over the world have their own unique brand of import restrictions, each one more ridiculous than the last. It's a global issue that affects car enthusiasts everywhere. It's enough to make you want to give up on cars altogether and just buy a bicycle. At least with a bicycle, you don't have to worry about import restrictions, paperwork, or endless fees. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the world of banned supercars, those automotive outcasts deemed too fast, too loud, or too exotic for our own good. We've seen stunning footage and roaring engine sounds of these banned beasts, from the legendary Porsche 959 to the track-only Lamborghini Essenza SCV12. We've heard from owners who've found loopholes to drive them legally, those lucky devils who've managed to navigate the bureaucratic maze and bring their automotive dreams to life. But one thing's for sure, these cars, these banned beasts, represent something special. It's about passion, about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and about the sheer joy of driving a machine that makes your heart race and your hair stand on end.